If anyone knows how to drop serious cash on marketing, it's Fidelity. But one chart they shared really got my attention. It showed average annual household spending by age group. And the big takeaway: we spend less as we age. Shocking, I know. Apparently, fewer commutes and less avocado toast really add up. That got me thinking, why not design a retirement portfolio that matches how people actually spend? Not just some dusty rule of thumb, but something real, grounded in actual data. Quick disclaimer before we dive in: this isn't financial advice. Just a few strategic ideas to chew on if you're thinking about escaping the cubicle before it crushes your soul. Today, we're doing just that. Building realistic retirement portfolios for folks pulling the ripcord at 55, 60, 65 and 70. And spoiler, it's not always $1 million price tag. Let's start with the big idea, the bridge strategy. Because unless you've hacked the system, you don't get Social Security the day you leave your job. So the key question becomes, how much do you need your portfolio to cover before the government finally sends you a check? Claim early at 62? Smaller monthly benefits. Wait until 70? Bigger checks, but your investments need to work overtime until then. Let's walk through what your portfolio might look like, depending on when you decide to ditch the cubicle. Retiring at 55, claiming Social Security at 62. You're pulling the ripcord at 55? Respect. But you've also got 7 years of all bills, no benefits. So your portfolio is the full-time breadwinner. Let's break retirement into 4 phases. Phase 1, ages 55-61, no Social Security. You'll need about $600K to cover this stretch. Conservative returns, low withdrawal rate. Keep 2-4 years in boring but safe accounts. Phase 2, ages 62-64. Social Security finally kicks in. 28.8K a year from 2 $1,200 month checks. Now you only need about 134K from your portfolio. Phase 3, ages 65 to 74. Spending starts to drop. Portfolio need 160K. Phase 4, age 75 plus, even lower spending. Need is 73K. Add it up with a 15% buffer for curveballs, and you're looking at around 965K. Not bad for quitting the rat race a decade early, and way less than the one-size-fits-none $1.5 million rule. Retiring at 60, claiming Social Security at 62, now we're talking early-ish retirement. You only need to bridge 2 years without Social Security. Huge savings. Phase 1, ages 60 to 61, 188. Phase 2, ages 62 to 64, 163K. Phase 3, ages 65 to 74, 224K. Phase 4, ages 75 plus, 102K. Total portfolio need, 677K. You get more time to save and less time to fund without help from Uncle Sam. Win-win. Retiring at 60. Claiming Social Security at 67. K. Now we're testing our patience. No Social Security for 7 years, but you'll get $1,700 a month per person once it kicks in. That extra delay means your early retirement portfolio needs to cover more up front. Total needed, $752K, but the upside: a lot less pressure in later years thanks to higher benefits. Retiring at 65, claiming at 67, now you're in the Goldilocks zone. Not too early, not too late. Phase 1, ages 65 to 66, 147K. Phase 2, ages 67 to 74, 166. Phase 3, ages 75 plus, 72K. That brings us to a grand total of just under 400K. That's right. With good timing and full benefits, you might retire on a number that doesn't start with a 1 and end with 0.5 million. Retiring at 70, claiming at 70. This is for the true fire monks, delaying gratification like pros. But maxing out Social Security, $200 a month each, comes with perks. Phase 1, ages 70 to 74, 79K. Phase 2, age 75 plus, 25k. That's it. Total just over 100k, because Social Security is basically doing the heavy lifting. But let's not ignore the plot twists. Lifestyle creep. One day it's a hobby. Next thing you know, you're restoring vintage motorcycles. Living longer than expected. Great news. Expensive outcome. Healthcare, especially if you retire before Medicare. Sequence of returns. If the market dips early in retirement, your portfolio takes a hit. Inflation, quietly draining your buying power like a leaky faucet. This is why I always suggest keeping 2 to 4 years of expenses in cash. It's your financial seatbelt. Final thoughts: every retirement strategy is a trade-off. Claim early equals smaller checks, but less portfolio pressure. Delay equals bigger checks, but you need to fund the gap. These aren't predictions, they're just frameworks to help you make smarter choices. Retirement isn't a fantasy, it's a math problem. Run the numbers, build the bridge, and when you're ready, pull the ripcord. This is Ripcord to Early Retirement, because Mondays suck but dividends don't.